Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Flashback. This was all the way in a year 2024. 2025, I think so. Can Oforiatta expected to return to Ghana in May? Afenyo-Markin jina parliament. Catch Ghana for second Oforiatta May last year. Enoba Ghana. Kwasi Ampeyin and the parliament wants us to listen to him. Somebody who stands at parliament, a place of record, to make such a stupid statement. Now, Adiachi no TTM parliament. Mr. Speaker, Jimmy. This person has no principle. Jimmy, where is Oforiatta? And a fool like that is now telling us to bring our finance minister to parliament. Now, more MPP for no. I know sometimes people say, I know Musa, no more Jimmy. Munyina na mabodam. Moyan Kora no more Jimmy. Munyina na mabodam. A whole government, a whole party came to power for 8 years. You had a finance minister who managed the affairs of this country. The same party, your finance minister has run away from Ghana with Ghana. And Amoya Mwana, the finance minister na de Ghana and seek some share in Sano for 8 years. No, oyamo party member. Odi mwenim no. Ghana for nyina ye trust ni sika share the same no. Oyamo party member no. We Ghana ko in America. Na monkwasi afo monya the audacity to come and stand in parliament and say, we want the finance minister to force him to come and answer to you. Na mama Jimmy musu sa no Jimmy munyina na mabodam. Anti ekrobi enim nyansa nka ose hye munyina. The person who was in charge for 8 years, our resource, our money. The person who read budget for 8 years, no. Mo ena mudi ne chire ne ba ye e ka chire nyina se yemfa ya wure nhye ne mu na Ken Oforiatta de nim nyansa ye tam ye sika nyina ma no. Ma guide ni pa na mana kotena bro chire se onwane. We wie ye sika nyina offensive hospital we nsi. Onfanya kwan wanye. Wa bomu besie di. DDEP ekunipa. We wie Ghana sika from kren to kran. Money na chesika na di kwasiafo wie ka jenso kotena bro chire onwane. Mu wie meka chire se more accountability from a current government. Now we kukuo. You see, sometimes when you sit back and you watch these NPP people, I saw me nine. Nanka muni nyansa krampo to talk about the finance minister to force him. The foolishness in the NPP, it is getting out of hand, and it is because we have allowed them. We give them too much room to fool themselves. How can you? You told us Ken Oforiatta was coming in May. We are in 2026. You have not had that decency and respect for Ghanaians to speak as an honorable man to explain to us why your stupid party with those stupid criminals who stole from us are now hiding outside the country. You now come to parliament and tell us we want the finance minister to come and talk about Koko or Cheneba or Gwan. Now, your finance minister, no, why are you not bringing Ken Oforiatta? You people say you want the country to move forward. You people say we should give you another opportunity. You people say you want to come and govern again. The people who governed, we want to question them. Why are you not advocating? Why are you not getting on the plane like a pig to bring Ken Oforiatta back to Ghana to prove to us, you yourself, as the leader of the piglet in parliament, you people stand for the truth. Any reason, you have no moral rights. You people are not supposed to even comment on governance. Yatia. Yawo February ye ko March Ken Oforiatta wen osora na kwahye broni we suit bia e pam no Cambodia kwase ampanyi bi na pam ye na ye de buttons abobom wa adwene say because of the suit it makes you intelligent now in parliament tietiem and hey Otwe take a plane and go to America and bring Ken Oforiatta na de bia na nkobi bedi man so na owie ekodwane kwahye abrochi anka obeba na man da ho infui inti obi ambra me govern Onwe sika, ye busa the questions of the king na wakwasha brochire. Ye wi ani study the same group of termites who are calling themselves a political party to come again. Ye Jimmy. You people should not even come to parliament. You are supposed to all be in America by now. Demonstrating at ICE there, holding cells to tell them to hand over Ken Oforiatta to you to take to Ghana. Muni munyansa. Mo MPP for mo Jimmy. Muni munyansa. Nanka party biaba power na emu finance minister edwane kotina brochira anka nkwase afo nka metuma beto Ghana no ha That alone, and this Ghana ni biya tie mo MPP for. Mo Ghana for that alone, this stupid thing alone, and this Ghana ni biya tie mo. Mo be di man so mo wie ya. Nipa na money box ni kuta no. Mo se onwane kwatena abrochire. E na mo titi TV so e defend no. Na ye Jimmy nti, yansan kofa koliko dimra. Na e Jimmy for te semwa because we know for a fact if we open the floodgates and allow Kenoforiata, the NPP to take power, Kenoforiata will come back. The criminals will all come back. And who is he going to work with? Eye Bawumia, on a yiri bay for Samira, they are indebted to Kufuado, Kenoforiata. Yes. Enti Ghana ye Jimmy Kurano. Ye Jimmy Kurano. Why should we allow you people to come back to power? Debia me catch Ghana for. Me catch Ghana for say governance is not easy. NDC at a point will struggle, but it does not justify. It will not give a reason. We will not even think of giving you MPP opportunity to lead. Jimmy, why should we give you the opportunity to lead? As we speak, Nipare de Ghana sike nyina shade nsem no. We dwana kwatena brochire. Kwasi afo, monko fa nembra mo se dabi, ba mo pese mo question atofo in inwan. Atofo se ba na Ghana GDP das ya inflation da saying. Atofo se ba na Ghana na ye team no, na ye interest rate da saying. Atofo se ba na dollar ye say inwan. Go and bring Kenoforiata. Your mom with space by 4 days, you are no Jimmy mo say ntefre. Fooling yourselves because mo just say Ghana for your nwene. Mo just say Ghana for your Jimmy enti Coco world market ni nti Ghana for nya den. Yen kotoma MPP. Na yen den. Momo bodam. Na mum ye wurem. Interestingly, and the NDC are led by John Dramani Mahama. Eye DDEP. Eye a car MPP jato ho. Mamim biem na kwase bi ankasa Kevin Taylor da Ghana for. Nanado Danko Ekufuado. Mahamudu Bawumia we. He led the DDEP. Pensioner for sika. Na sebio omusu. Say Ghana ya ye juma ama Ghana na ye sika abo Ghana ban besia. Kenoforiata ni Bawumia kwatena cabinet ka say yenji sika ni mfiri omunsem. Mahamudu Bawumia called cabinet as the head of the economic management team. He told them that he never cared about any pensioner and that they should take the money from them. Omuji pensioner for sika, omun sika da omunsem. And the NDC abayaba, John Mahama aba, and the sa ekanibi, John Mahama abe sika chichiri die 10 billion ye tuama pensioner for no. Kwasi afo mumpe we mu pekaya motium, yen tam to me from a MPP. Huh? And abaina ebaya endi over 2 years no. Abano sa pensioner for sika na eya Bawumia mo etna cabinet e ka kire Kufuado say oye Jimmy omayan kwaje pensioner for sika no. And NDC abaya na omuni any twaka e wo sa sika nim. John Mahama ne NDC for na omuni any say in that DDEP decision. And omaba abetua pensioner for 10 billion. Ye betu musika amomo. Eka bia kamukra selom peso mutua. Ya tia ka jam say I koko bo akofo munti. Menkofa yankofa Bawumia be di president. Na Bawumia yananta. This is what we call governance. We are government now ba obeto problems. Obeto problems are you don't blame anybody. You handle the problem. You deal with it. And this is what the NDC government led by John Mahama, this is what they are doing. Intisa pensioner for sikana Ekufuado any Bawumia free pensioner for nsem menoka say emudu duone ewuno. And the John Mahama yi 10 billion. 10 billion one more a year piece at a monte sikana senma New Ghana. Tete Ghana no sa 10 billion no ohihye no menhia nyina enko. Obo yehwia no ahwiaka 10 Ghana no. Yes sa ahwiaka nko 300 a ebehwiegu eye menhia enko. Sa sikana na John Mahama atam ede atua wa wo ya santini wa wo ye kowni wa wo ye sehwini wa wo ye bununi wo ye mfantini ya wonani na opapa bi ona na bi wo pensioner Bawumia gini nsam sika no John Mahama tam sika we nyina se yemfa momo enti ye ka 10 billion Ghana e kire ye fa ahwiaka nko 700 ni nyina no ya hyehye sika 10 Ghana ma yɛde tapoli akata so na ne nyinaa bɛpaake wɔ manhyia ahwie ne nyinaa gu manhyia saa sika na John Mahama atam sɛ yɛmfa ma pensioniafoɔ no na deɛ bawomia mo de yɛ ɔmo no deɛ ɛni sɛ nke bi si wɔ Ghana yɛabrɛ abom ɛnɛ saa nkwasiafo we ka sɛ under the history of Ghana ɛyɛ deɛn ɛyɛ koko boɔ yɛate kokofoɔ boɔ so nnwan pensioniafoɔ in the history of the world MPP and bawomia nkwa na yɛgye ɔmo nsɛm sika pensioniafoɔ in the history of Ghana in the history of the world ɛyɛ NPP ni bawomia nkwa na tumi gye pensioniafoɔ mu nsɛm sika ɛsa ka so ɔmo nkowu ɔmo bɛyɛ demonstration ɔmo sa wie no ɔmo sa di pensioniafoɔ na tem. This is what we are talking about. This is what we have been talking about. A group of animals, Jimmy, we forget easily. So they just do things and they walk. In the history of the world, I know what this is pensioner for Sika, Edia Koboy Srim, Edisika Kopej Antrafo. It is only under Mahamudu Bawumia. Under Bawumiankwa, and a Tubiji Ghana pensioner for Sika Frio Munsem. Na pensioner Akowu. Then we sit in Ghana and people think it's a joke. It is not. Omanka sanka for lead party no. Brian Champon, no the Bawumia and a cabinet. Brian Champon, no ne Mahamudu Bawumia and a cabinet. Or see, or catch say Bawumia tina cabinet edgy to say young koji pensioner for Sika and few Muslim. This is Brian Champon. What's your for?
Ye baba ye campaign and hote MPP were Jumaye. Ye share near many be was our bang we entimian. And what say a bine bia etina ho Emma Sebe. Onipa di ni sika Emma a bine na ebedru maybe no a bine ebetini sika no so. MPP bar sa nipa 2,320 a muka wa debt exchange no hono. A car mu boy ye for mrentintin a ye beba power no. MPP a mimi jidi se medano no. Sikebi ako kem no. Dr. Brian Champon babedio mampeni no. Obetia musika abamo. Pension funds. Institutions are musika kemu. Emra ne ye wo abemu no. Se Nyankopon ye adom de ye ba abemu a. Bibia akemu no. Monsa ebeka.
O think what say mo ka kire mu. Omo tena abemu. Oni Bawumia, Brian Champon no a cabinet minister. Oni Bawumia ne tena abaimu. No a cabinet minister. Oni Bawumia ne work cabinet. Or see, nipa almost 2,400 a yichinchim omonsa jio musika. He does not care because nipa pa biye wu. Oni Bawumia mo ne don't care because ni maami biye wu. Or can it tra keke. Mo ya ji munsem pension sika. Ye ba betua mom nipa ne wu. So the kind of people they are, these are animals. On the Bawumia Tena cabinet, and omu take decision say, Yanji eye omunsa musika. Omu wiye ya wakache ne nananom. Pensioner na wo wuno. Ne baba na oni school course sia no. Ne yire na ene ono so eba be wuno. Okache ne say, mama etumi bie mu a. Na tama na wo power no. They did not see pensioners as any important people. This is the typical MPP animals. Into ya Ghana na utie nkofo we ya. Sa utie obokwa na se wokra wadwiri nya adwuma because omo jimi. Ekuro ben na wo wiase go and check. Abanya ba betena wo say the vice president or your head of the economic management team etimi kojina parliament, etimi kojina cabinet, sorry. Eka chair president say let us take money from pensioners. Let us take money. Brian Champon kasa no or your cabinet minister no ne Bawumia na wo cabinet. Or admit say ye gio mu samusika. Into my say Jiminti, Mama ye to me, na ye ba, nipa be 2,400 no, ye be shese ye be tia musika na mamo. Or kind of simple, because what this can be an investment. Because on the Bawumia woman yiska, into bu Ghana for posom ye nipa. Instead say, Omba Roman tadie, a Roman dross, a you omukoti abedina krum, a paya chono, Omukwasia fugu e catcher say, Yen samo to me, na omumbra mesa megijisika. This is Brian Champon. Onye any ordinary person in the MPP or your cabinet minister. Debi amkache Ghana for, tira amkache koko ekuafo say, mu koko ekuafo, edo aye wo mamono. Mamu nti MPP o, omu ye mwa. And then me be the reason why ntia, uye koko ni a, also start busa ho questions. First, now cook if you be a more chocomilo. And how many chocomilos do you see? Me pe Ghana ni ba kwa. Obeka chrem wo Ghana say. Waba America, wako Asia, waka Europe, ehu broni a auto Ghana chocolate eye ne favorite odi de bia. Mi busao. I am asking every single person. And that brings us to the cocoa board matter. Mi busao say. Da bay na wo ya Ghana ni a wako shop wa brochire wo UK na wo teno wo America no, wo Asia, wo den de Europe no. Da ben wo say bro ni be say I'm yearning for Ghana chocolate. Da ben na wo be da. Ask yourself why. I'll explain to Cocoa Kwiafo mo hwe me nne. And the story aba nyina say Cocoa Board pays 237 million Ghana cedis to cocoa farmers. And a Cocoa Board John Mahama, after paying 10 billion to a pensioner for ba omiabeji omunsem sika no, and upon all that is happening around the world, you know, cocoa boy every 11,000 abedu $3,000 no. John Mahama still or say we cocoa kwini and I say we my stress so. Because cocoa kwafo no, I could and the medicate show we mama and say the mutete no nchenya nkwasi asem ahana no kore no wo me be kire bibie mu akirebo. Oti insem bebra nipa bi kan eyomo personal issues with nipa na or the head of Cocoa Board. Randy Abbey. A man for have personal issues with him. I am not here to discuss Randy Abbey. He's not my priority. My priority is Cocoa Kwienino. Now before I move on, let me explain this. Yes, Cocoa Board. Sika 273 million Ghana. John Mahama said Muntie Kwiafoka. Now, last 2 weeks or last week, a finance minister Ato Forsen ebe kinkai new reforms and as a reforms are Cocoa Board edeba because of cocoa hunsen semaba. Now, sa sika we abai twato no. Uye kweni na wo hwemia. Moa aban agimu cocoa seats. Moa mo se mo de bu cocoa ama aban a mo twan se ebetua mo ka no. Aban no is going to pay the old price. Enti sa sika we wa uye cocoa kweni bia ukoko wa aban ho a yenye ntua wo ka no. E also tia se new price no affect sika ye betua wo no. Enti say 2,500 na we expect ya. Sa 2,500 no eno na be den ye de be ma wo. Now 237 million Ghana cedis no. Ye de ma omo a omo ka se oh metwa me cocoa me de amba aban o aban nya ntua ye. Mo amu cocoa wa aban ho a ye nya ntua mo ka no. John Mahama say time na wudi cocoa ne koma aban no. Sika na ye tonu cocoa no eno ne ye betua wo. Now from afi we ko no cocoa fufuro na ye betwa no eno na sebio price na asesa. Eno ano no. Mema otwe bia na ada wo. Enti se ye cocoa kwani na wo hwe me. Na se wodu cocoa ama aban na aban nya ntua wo ka. Se aban fro se beji usika aban etua sa ebo na ewo ho no because emra ye hye den ye hye sa emra fufuro we no na ukoko ne de ewo aban samu dada. Enti se na ukoko no aban samu dada e so wotia se aban etua obetua den ebo na yetua mo dada no enya ebo fufuro ya abai. If you say time na wudi cocoa ne koma aban se aban ma usika no na aban nya fa enhyehye fufuro emba ye say yate cocoa so enti uye cocoa crutch cocoa kwani na wo Ghana also ti ase se na cocoa aduaban ko a wa aban ho ana cocoa seats wa aban ho a sa 237 million Ghana no ukoji usika ye betua wo first price no de na wo ho dada no from 2027 2028 into 2027 na omoba betua 2026 dia eno na emrafo fro na ya hye no ebeka sa akoko no na ene de wa ukoko wa aban ho bia sebio na ukemu se abanya ntua me koko maame abanya ntua me koko maame ansa na emrafo fro we ba no ukwa akwaji ukoko ni sika also tia se ekadada ba akona na eda ho no 2005 was 2,500 said na ye gemu no ye de mamu no eno na aban eba betua mamu asamasa asam fufuro bi ani wo afeni ye be kan de aba ho asam nne girigiri bi anim etibisramo mamu ma MPP fo nkeka nkwasesam bi ankyeramo mamu tie o mamu nim nyansa Mama Jimmy Fobin ko gina kokwa ase. 8 years obi amegina kokwa ase no mo ankasa. Ofri power afu no begina kokwa ase no kasa. Dia ya so no say obegina kokwa ase ni Jimmy no hu wi a na wafa V8 abetena nkran. Che say owu so wa Jimmy. Mi chechirem 237 million Ghana cedis no. So ukoko wa ban ho nko ade a say ye tua wo kana ye betua ekadada no ba ko na na e wo ho no. Eka foforo ya abai enya ne betua wo nti ye rest assured uye koko ni uye koko kuani a also tell say aban e ba be ma odien aban e ba be ma sa de ne etua wo dada na from 2027 ekono na omu tua 2026 27 a eno na price no besa. Now, answer na mekoso no. Me be say Ghana for eti bibi ase. And the kind of people we are dealing with as a political party, eye MPP. Mokai. Say na what is MPP for catch us say. Kokwe for ya domo na this ya ban abeji kokwe for ya ntu omoboa woni bibi omgin nsam wagimi. Time na MPP what power. Ena eye team yebusa Mahmoud Baumia that time on na cabinet or chair cabinet because the kufu obi anim so a vegetable wanum wi wabodam yebusa Baumia say koko MPP ewo power yebusa say koko won sensam koko board e collapse koko ekuafo bre una wo ye vice president una sika ne tawa taso una wo ye the head of economic management team una na wo so wonim wiase nyansa nyina montie response Mahmoud Baumia edema eye Ghana for
Cocoa board is on the verge of collapse. I'm not aware of that, but we'll look at that. I cannot comment on that. It's not. I don't know where the data is coming from. Cocoa board is on the verge of collapse. I'm not aware of that, but we'll look at that. I cannot comment on that. It's not. I don't know where the data is coming from.
Oya vice president ne kufu ara sata wa num wi ada e say 2024 Cocoa board igu Cocoa nsensama say o say I am not aware. What you ka kire mo that time na Cocoa kuafo e twen de Baumia beka na o say ento aba ma na medi president Ghana for busa say se ano 2024 ye koto aba 2024 what na be mu 8 years ye nyina nim de Cocoa fo fam Cocoa kuafo bre Cocoa board no krampo no egu na wadwen kire ne say o say ono onya awe onim ontumi nyia no akwawe ntina mako gina Cocoa nuase a omugimi omo ho no ye busa no na ta no kuta tumi onka bibi ponche Cocoa kuafo a ebuo kakra wom Cocoa kuafo miami nim se woni maso ka o so no onya awe mo fam kwase se mo firi so ye busa o se we are vice president o si entoma we the vice president 8 years una what cabinet una we the head of economic management team una Ghana sika sam hye o si entoma that means that we plans for Cocoa board we plans for Cocoa kuafo 2024 na say o plans ne saying because you need to Ghana ha Cocoa board no egu Cocoa kuafo bre wo answer ne saying kire bibi say my reason ti ayen kotoma say na be di tumi mawa obekire say Cocoa kuafo da wakoma so Mahmoud Baumia ka chom say onya we say Cocoa kuafo bre
Cocoa board is on the verge of collapse. I'm not aware of that, but we'll look at that. I cannot comment on that. It's not. I don't know where the data is coming from. Cocoa board is on the verge of collapse. I'm not aware of that, but we'll look at that. I cannot comment on that. It's not.
No, see Ntwaba mano. Only idea biao. He cannot comment on that. Somebody who wants to lead Ghana. Now, if you are not aware of that, then it means you were not aware of anything. So why were you even the vice president? A whole vice president. Yeah, the Omaya show in some 8 years. Cocoa board egu Cocoa kuafo bre. My answer was say onya we he can't speak to the only data. And then kwasiafo we egu koko asese nkokuo ya press conference. Ye do koko kuafo because omu bu koko kuafo so omujimi. That is what they believe in. You see, MPP for doing say e kurase da ho Ghana. MPP for timu no. Omadwene am say Ghana da ho 1962. Ghana da ho 1992. Omu ho koko kuafo say MPP for adwene mu koko kuafo e kurase for sa na omadwene ye omo. Omadwene say ene ke koko kuani a omugin say ye obi a otie kurase bi a onim de ekoso won kran one de ye kabrofo onte ase sa na MPP for hu koko kuafo enti omugin say omukogina koko afuo bi mu na omofre MPP for delegate say mondra tete say mu ye koko kuafo omuwia na mafo ka betena nkran say monhwe koko kuafo omunim de echen mu amoten kran no koko kuani bi anim world market of cocoa prices na ekofuma koko kuani bi anim say cocoa ye tuma koko kuani bi anim enti don't think say uko ekurase kogina dua bi ase koko efuo bim na obi ka say koko koko kuani or MPP ni or chairman or 20 years no no or koko for 20 years obi koko for 40 years kwasi ampe na ogina oye me na my koko 20 years and menti bi da no me see was oye koko 20 years a your koko kuani nyanseri bi oye koko 40 years. And that person cannot decide for koko kuafo nyina. Koko kuafo mo Ghana 90% only nyansa cha MPP for. And I'm saying this because MPP no, a political party like MPP no, omu Ghana for biasi nyina ye Jimmy. Omu koko kuafo because senke party omu nyansa, they will not even dare go and stand in cocoa farms to say you see at world prices so in the koko kuafo mahame sisimo asem we utibi wen e kire we Jimmy. Koko kuani a oni MPP tenaye we nya free fertilizer da. Koko kuafo ni MPP tenaye we nya free spray da. Koko kuani ene MPP tenaye we nya free insecticide da. Koko kuafo ni MPP tenaye omu koko kwa ye mewe kwa ni emfi omo. Enti dia na obeka che koko kuani na ka je nso wuje so we Jimmy enti mu ye koko kuafo mu nyina mu medi echi ni amfa tumi ma bawomia say yebusa no 2024 koko kuafo bre koko bodigu osi emfa no ho oni answer na woni answer na de tumi ama obi a wo kwase e ka kire be say menyi tumi ni mfa ma wo abodam oni answer na matam tumi ni de ama obi na obi manage na o take care of the mess you left her o say enu ntimi ntam tumi ma wo na mo jimi aya mo sora mo sa e champon fie anase kurukuri na mo de sa ye just space na mam kakra na mo jimi mo ho ena moji se koko kuafo agimi moji se koko kuafo nim nyansa moji se motete politics na moye no the same thing moko gina ekuro bi so a ana jeje beku ye maame ana jeje beku ye ofa me kan wo ofa so no ekromfo sa politics na twam now mumiyen wo wagon nim wagon ni nyina na say team stay with me koko once in summer abagana. The question is, koko kuani ben na wo Ghana sisia onim se koko price yate so wo wiase koko kuani bi anim. Every single cocoa farmer knows say cocoa price around the world is swati. Time na MPP ti so koko e wiase bo kosoro koko wiase bo kra kosoro no senior na e was MPP for etum ema koko kuafo no kroma anye ekodura kodube 11,000. Still MPP they were not able to pay koko kuafo what they deserved. Nobody said anything. Koko kuafo eye adwuma no e da ho supply Ghana aban koko ema Ghana aban agi koko no koko omugiye e ho besia omukogi bediye sika na oso butuama koko fo no kwampo no sa sika okoso no mafa mo enso sebio koko forum koko kuafo no hweka omni hwege eno mugi sika ne sa yamre nim aban asesa me I'm not going to go into the blame games and the dig it no maybe any simple amount aban asesa koko na ewiase eton 11,000 and a koko na bedu 3,000. The same koko kuani na onim se koko ya ton 11,000 MPP aban entuma mani sika ese no who expect koko kuani na and when we say to koko 3,000 no or expect say betua na the same eboa yetua time ana cocoa 11 enya saa na ye no baby a we ase. And I like the idea say the president of Ghana, John Mahama no, or a cocoa farmer, or one of the biggest farmers in Ghana. And ordinary example say, dear AC in Neno, me John Mahama, me cocoa fu, say cocoa ya to a bag $30,000. I mean, many sikache nipa bibri o Ghana. Si ati cocoa so about 3,000. Me sume boka ti say cocoa kweni bia. Inti dear AC no, and John Mahama na koshe dem, ana Randy Abbey. Ana NDC abana kwashe dem ka say yanti cocoa boss why na be yesa. Nobody would do that. Into cocoa kweni na wutie mi a mesrew ma wadwene mra na mencha bibi mu nkirew. Hwe aban wei ne ati krom ha from tete ena na yetu gold wo Ghana. Yakọ different aban ko edrum pempenso bi na ye ka kire ho se gold a yetu nifa so ben so ne yenya wo so yanka kire ho until aban bi ba ye ka said abi e wo se de bibia fe gold board ba but aban abako ma aban abako edum pempen so bi na Ghana for ka kire ho se gold a yetu no Ghana e ho fa so ben ne yenya and Ghana for yetu nka sa asem ni biem adentra every say NDC aban ba ye no obe make sure say or the reforms bia be kan ye gold no ho amende gold board no opa Ghana economy no adia eso na sene pa eka ho a e gold and the Ghana ni bia nim say as a nation yenya gold ho mfaso from the day I started to go to Ghana. This is the time yenya gold ho mfaso pa eboa oman no it at every particular time I was say eye oman bia etumi tena se na otu ne ni hwe na chi na obusa ne ho say ewiase sesen yen so I was say yesesa ya nyoma I was say yesesa sene ye nyoma o say nyina ti ase so ekoko kuani na wo hwe me a koko na ye ton no 1962 no sene na ewiase ehu koko emra koko yi ni ti na ewiase nyina en develop ya na yehu koko no and any was abiemu and in some way ni kan ding but o say meka koko na ye value no 59 years ago, 79 years ago, 60 years ago no and the cocoa ankasa opa ewiase a cocoa sebio eni anwodin na ewo emre bia na sebio na ewiase yenhu de na yepese de cocoa ye anase other alternatives to cocoa. The reason why intia cocoa na eye one of the first class commodities around the world na sebio cocoa kutaweti se gold no na yeni alternative to cocoa wo wiase na wiase developing bedrooms how pointer na yekura Ghana na adwen say Kwame Nkrumah de cocoa free Fernando Po bedru Ghana no na yenkwa na edua cocoa at a point yetrim no na adwen say yenkwa na cocoa ebia yene any Seychelles nkwa na cocoa but that idea na sasa and any idea keko that cocoa revolution time no as because the world no cocoa now has become a commodity. Almost everywhere you go in the world, there's cocoa. Enti we cocoa kwani wo Ghana. Sebio also tia say, enya wonkwa na wudia cocoa. Enya wonkwa cocoa na brofo pe. Enya wonkwa cocoa na efu ana enya wonkwa cocoa na de boden. Ye wo aman bebre wo Ghana me no ka sei. Eno na ema cocoa bo no etumi kosoro na aba fom hwi. Na obusa won say na nye cocoa na papa di jaye yi enye cocoa we na yesi cocoa de we cocoa kwani a usika de podio ampa ende opese usika e podio a onsa beka na opese ho kire wo so a ho be kire me kire wade kuro se cocoa kuafo mo Ghana se mo pese munya cocoa mu sika me kire mo ne ena se mo pese mo ma MPP fo daada mo cocoa kuafo no na se mo pese mo beboa mo ho a MPP fo daada fo we ombema no ehia mo and that is the reality. My mention wade. Sa de we. Sa list we am de we. Top 10 cocoa processing countries based on recent data. Uba wiase a inkura omo edua cocoa ye hu adwuma pa emu du. Omo no mgu ho no. Me kire wo cocoa kwani atie me. Nyoma sesa. Eba cocoa, eba se de edi cocoa hu dwa. eba senia abrofo pe cocoa eba senia cocoa ne yadwen se ye ne Abidjan kwa nyoma asesa enti imredu se cocoa akuafo senia etumi dani gold and gold abeso economy ni mu no imredu se ye be dani cocoa nani na cocoa no so abeye a vital commodity even though the world majority of the world reject cocoa no we can make money out of cocoa. Now we check here number 1 Côte d'Ivoire. Omo produce about 31 to 45% of global supply. We are say we oha enchichemu edua sabako ekopem eduonan enum oha enchichemu eduonan enum a Ivory Coast to me produce cocoa pa. Omo friwa Ghana na toso. Yen so ye produce Ivory Coast friwa ye toso. U friwa no abakuro so Indonesia. Tata kwa shibu kofa cocoa seed ni bae no. Ni adwin se yankwa ene bebi a cocoa seed ni free bae no. Yankwa ne dua cocoa dabi. And the third country where we are say processing cocoa, Indonesia. The fourth country, Ecuador. The fifth country, Cameroon. The sixth country, Nigeria. Brazil, produce cocoa, process cocoa. Ekrobit is Peru. Ekrobit is Dominican Republic. I've been there before. Ekrobit is Colombia. Now, so we shall list more African cross sign the womb. Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon. 4 countries out of the 10. Meaning, there are 10 countries where we are seeing African countries are processing cocoa. So, you want to Ghana and say, I say cocoa created and when it says Sebio, Manis is so on one produce cocoa into say cocoa buono, edru point so be dabi. Europeans need other alternatives, other markets. Omonya market for fra. Almost I ready say cocoa beans in omobeto. The difference between Ghana and Ivory Coast for cocoa no, the amount of no sometimes no omoni ji cocoa no wanna say. Ivory Coast for the processing time omoni processing cocoa no faster and quicker than Ghana. But you see the quality of the beans, you know. Ghana beans no a quality chain Ivory Coast. The reason is Ghana cocoa kweni ocha cocoa na Ghana kweni ocha cocoa na or the or pie cocoa no. Now the kogu ayedien apatamu na wahata cocoa no na ordinansa aden adani dani cocoa no apeni ma cocoa no natural sunlight and aden awu cocoa no enti Ghana kweni no ocha cocoa na from the day of cocoa ne foam, echo time of the begu bottom no, sa cocoa no, everything about it is natural. Côte d'Ivoire for no, almost soja ewa apatanase. They force the cocoa to dry. And intina Côte d'Ivoire, they can make about 2.5 million tons. Na Ghana make it around 600 to 700 tons. Because yanya process no ewa. Côte d'Ivoire for process no a short. In the Côte d'Ivoire for no, also Ghana cocoa no, yedi begu apataso ne de ensa afifem ne dane no na ewie boso na ha dane na ha wo na Côte d'Ivoire for no omdi gu apataso no ma soja wase na ejane heat no yede ewu cocoa no edi Côte d'Ivoire for no Ghana ni ekotwa cocoa ana onya boto edua onya wo adwuma wie na di be bosome baako sa Ivory Coast ni no within 4 days na the cocoa nyina awo enti sa wo study a yene cocoa na go through the natural process. Ivory Coast for there, no, it goes through a very quick and rapid process because they are looking at more cocoa seeds, selling it and making money. But we are looking at their quality. We are looking at sustaining our quality and also making sure say it is all natural. And anything I offer Ivory Coast for the amount of cocoa they are able to ship out of Ivory Coast. And the yet to me ship na difference the gap every say. Yene no your process ni nyina no dey natural. Ivory Coast for there no omo di heat and omo de eden omo tumi de eden ema omo cocoa ne wo nti Uganda ni be di 1 month Ivory Coast ni 1 week na the cocoa awo na ekọ. Now I couldn't tell me cheche we mu nyina akere no say there ama cocoa ebo akofom nipa bebre eka say na ye den na cocoa bo etimi akofom to the point eye affect eye Ghana cocoa kuafom amechero. You see this? global market collapsed. See, world cocoa prices fell drastically after peaking at over 11,000 to 12,000 per ton in 2024. Now, prices plunged to around 3,300 to 3,400 per ton early 2026. Say cocoa around 2024. Now your ton back could be almost $11,000 to $12,000. For some reason, cocoa born at in 2026, at the end of ton between 11,000 to 12,000 a ton, and they ton $3,300 per ton. Now, what we say a DNR courses are their causes are simple. Improved harvest in Ghana and Ivory Coast after years of drought and disease. For a long time, na cocoa, na sebio yare, eni nyoma ebegu suninti, na Ivory Coast ni Ghana, yentumi twa cocoa dodo. And the amazing say, yentumi twa cocoa dodo between Ivory Coast and Ghana. No, there's a lot of cocoa in the system, and make cocoa beans. No, for about a year now, cocoa in sorry to ye, yarewa na egu cocoa sini nyina akofom. Ama Ivory Coast ni Ghana. Cocoa sebio ye chano cocoa beans a ye nyano aburuso inti ebuso. Now secondly, new supply from Ecuador and Latin America. Ecuador for and around Latin America no almost started producing cocoa in large quantities. Very large quantities. Until right now, the market is seeing a high level of cocoa seeds in the system. Latin America for produce. And then because they cocoa, who said there's an increase in the amount of cocoa Latin America and Ecuador for air producing. Now the last factor in Tiama cocoa at free 11,000, abedu 3,000. The last factor here, weak demand, is as chocolate makers raise retail prices and reduce cocoa content in products. And oba bruchira, so cocoa product bia, whether it is chocolate, whether it is peanut butter or whatever, cocoa content less than 30%. Otiasie. It means say first now bro for to cocoa no do because normally cocoa do na ye cocoa drinks. The cocoa do and the chocolate. Say bro for I find the other means. Inti here cocoa beans too much. Now, to me create cocoa flavor. Inti technology to my brofono right now or Germany or to France or to UK or to USA. Tell me now to cocoa bottle bear 300,000 or here 10 bottle 10 pe. The obey say sa bottle 10 or the milk 70% and a bottle 10 pe bet my cocoa do or the $100 here. Inti the demand for cocoa now around the world and say people are finding alternatives, other means of creating cocoa flavored products. Inti, so what's the deal? So over America, now the Ghana cocoa, Emma America Nino dear, or say it is too bitter. Or it is too bitter. The reason is that omu cocoa ni chocolate 70 to 80% na milk. And omu bear 14% cocoa flavor. Into right now, they are not so much into Monkova cocoa free Africa mra in drones and in tons for American government or the German government or the Swedish or the European whatever to they are not expecting so much again because oko Latin America, oko Ecuador, oko countries bia to say omomakana they are producing more cocoa. Inti enya Ghana nkwa ena at the end of the day no abrofo to cocoa free na Ivory Coast nkwa. No, it is because the supply, at the end of the day, the supply, it has basically exceeded the demand for the product. Ghana for saying, and a more brochira, Mumba, more America. Eka say, Mama Ghana chocolate, they don't eat it. Why? It is because a brochira no any America for no any Europeans, even the Arabians, they have found other means. Oma pekwan for chocolates. To me a whole milk, not the flavor, the technology, a creative flavor of chocolate. Not the some milk into wood dear now no ma. Why dream no? You smell it, you feel it, say a chocolate drink, but 90% of the content now no a milk. Intel say tia as cocoa for say. Na die ne ebe ye ma ye nso ye cocoa ye ne Ghana no. Sebio ya ho nkyere ye aban no beto no se ne ye pe. Eno ntina me se tie mi. Enwumbre we cocoa kwani na wo hwe me a. MPP ye nkwasiafo mu nim nyansa. Problem ne da ho no eso. Na yo a reason a wo cocoa fo no. Cocoa kwafo no mo betumi edi so a ebema musika e wo se be come nsa na be come nsa. And reforms na a finance minister be kind, be kan ho asem, baba me kire obibi. And the one story way. And the Ivory Coast, Abidjan. Ivory Coast piles up as exporters reject fixed farm gate price amid global market setup. Slump, sorry. And the Ivory Coast for say, omu koko no, omu de kwa abrochira, ebo no peso omu toma abrofo, omu so omu nto. Adentina, koko na abrofo pe. Chocolate na abrofo pe. Adentina nde, Ivory Coast to me ye koko wedjum over 2.5 million tons. Omu de kodo abrochira abrofo say, ebo omu pe no mu beto because omu alternative. So wanto Ivory Coast for koko, wanto Ghana koko, beto Ecuador for koko. Wanto Ivory Coast koko, wanto Ghana koko, obeto Latin America for koko. Wanto Ivory Coast koko, wanto Ghana koko, obeto Asia for koko. And the China munyina, Japan munyina, omunyina dia koko. Inti the issue is window na be very small. Baby a sika no be free aba no, window no tokro no emu kata. Adentina tokro no mu si. You can also blame technology. Because then you advance to the point that abrofo to be tina fie, omutu ni koko dua baba ako 1 seed, omutu ni chocolate 4 boxes. Inti we Ghana now you kwani o Ghana because na den na ban ni betuma ye de aboa me ama me so koko kwani no me twa me koko a beto ni nyina because the sia no ewiase ama no ne omu nyina nto koko no nti den ne ye beye
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase na so far so good say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share nipa follow nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases PENDREAM TV.